Call to order the October 20th, 2021 board meeting of the Fair Oaks Recreation and Park District. Jennifer, would you please call the roll?
Yes, Chair O'Farrell.
Present.
Vice Chair Irwin is absent. Director Farquhar.
Here.
Director Mount.
Here.
Director Tamani. Here.
Okay, we have a quorum and we're going to do the pledge. We're going to do the regular way.
A real pledge.
Okay, Ralph, do us the honors.
Okay, please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Ralph. Let's see. Presentations, proclamations, recognition.
We have a presentation.
Yeah, we do. Cool.
Hi, I'm Dave. I'm from ICS.
Okay.
Right behind this. Yep. From ICS, we're your construction manager for some of the projects that you've got going. I'm just here to kind of give you a quick update. We'll start with the smaller one first. The Strang Park on Swallow Way is 97% complete. We're waiting on completion of the monument sign and a couple of handrails. And other than that, we're prepping for the ribbon cutting ceremony scheduled for the 4th of November. 4 o'clock. Job went very well. Once we got started out of the gate, we had a little bit of bump in permits out of Sac County. Not too many problems on the site once we got there. Saw some problems at the north end with that fence line and property swap with the neighbors. So that all went great, looks great. So I think the neighborhood is, from the feedback that we're getting out at site, is very good. They're very impressed with construction. If you haven't gone by there, I urge you to go by there. Any ribbon cutting. Cost-wise, we're pretty darn close. We'll probably be under budget. It's pretty close. The numbers are still coming in. We'll settle down. Once we've got everything finalized, we'll update the numbers. But it's pretty good. At the Village Park, we went ahead and started the demolition, as you guys probably know. We did that for 2 reasons. Number one, we did have hazardous material out there, so we thought we could jump on that just because there's a couple of lots of unknowns, which we did find. Plus, we were able to show the community progress on the project while we wait again for Sac County to review our plans and give us the approvals we need to proceed with construction. The demolition contract was about $100,000. Pretty inexpensive. We got a pretty good deal from the bidding contractor who really wanted this job. He grew up in Fair Oaks and really wanted to put this one in his repertoire. So he gave us a really good price. It hit some bumps, found a lot of things, which kind of gives us a heads up going into the main construction contract. So there are some concerns there that we'll try to adjust for in planning in terms of financial and schedule and otherwise. We are done with the demolition for the most part. We are waiting again on Sac County to do a couple of inspections that we need to sign off. We've negotiated a PO to keep the tent fence around the demolished site for safety concerns. And we found out today, well, this morning, that the landscape architect has to go back into Sac County. I think this is round 4. We're aiming now for December to come out of county with approved plans. We'll debate at this time when to start advertising for bidders and farming the contract committee to get some more generals pre-qualified to do the job. We did hit some bumps through the approval stage. We're going to have to do a little bit extra work at some of the street crossings for the Department of Transportation. And as you know, we're going to have to replace that wall, that structural wall behind the band shop. those two things kind of elongated the approval process. So two of the main things. Lots of other little things too that the county has to do along the way. Not the least of which is we're having to fully submit on the fire sprinkler system, which is normally what they call a deferred item, which means we can start the project, have that scope of work be designed built by an experienced fire sprinkler contractor, and then the county would look at the plans. Well, in this case, for whatever reason, they've changed their position. We have to go on with the full design system. So it's a little bit add to the architect's scope of work, a little bit more plans, but critical path has always been getting through county building with the landscape. The building's pretty much done. Any questions?
So all this additional reviews is probably costing us a lot of professional time for architecture, landscape architecture.
They haven't squawked yet. WMB, the building contractor, has. We had to pay them to do the fire sprinklers for both buildings, because that's clearly something that nobody, they didn't anticipate, didn't put in their quote, nor would I have ever thought that the county would say, you have to come in for design. Normally that's something you put off onto a licensed fire sprinkler contractor. Landscape, again, she hasn't said any, Cal hasn't said anything about that yet, so kind of wait and see how it shakes out. But they've done a lot of work.
You also mentioned a couple of details this morning I thought was interesting when the demo on the salon occurred. You found extensive foundations, more than you expected, and also found some unexpected live line that wasn't known.
Yes.
And then
On the septic tank, abandoned septic tank underneath there that we're gonna pull out. Yeah, that, like I said, for such a small contract, the number of variables that we found going through that is disproportionate between additional concrete, power, shutting down the power to the amphitheater proved very difficult because SMUD found that the wires coming into the amphitheater were different from the ones leaving the transfer, which means we had a junction box or splice somewhere on the site. We had to hunt that down. And we found it buried in one of the fireboxes. Aside from that, we found that daisy chains all the way back to the arch capacity. When we shut down the amphitheater, we shut down concessions, which we anticipated, but it also took out the arch capacity. So we had to string temporary power there to maintain the alarm systems in both buildings. Like you said, concrete and to Park Specialties in general is the prime contractor demo. They did all that additional concrete removal without asking for extra costs.
there were two other notable things. One was the county requirement that we grind and repave half the streets on California, on Fair Oaks Boulevard. And I think you said on Park also.
Yeah, that will be a requirement of the construction contract. It wasn't a requirement of the demo. So that will be added to the scope of work, which
Part of Cala's work.
is going to increase costs.
And the other thing is we did, I guess, make a decision that we wanted to separate the electrical power. Right now, it's interconnected between the arts and crafts and the amphitheater and so on. We're going to have separate services for billing and rental purposes.
Yeah, typically, buildings aren't daisy chained together like that unless they're smaller outbuilding type things as part of a, you know, a condition. But the arts and crafts, you know, we have the ability to do it. We have the opportunity to do it relatively cheaply. That would be our recommendation at a minimum to put the arts and crafts on a separate its own feet. If we want to continue to feed the concession from the amphitheater, that's the judgment call. The two kind of get used hand in hand, so that's the end of the one separate that way. But we've also made recommendation that down the road, we have the opportunity, is a good idea would be to do a you know, utility locator out there. Ask for bulk power distribution. We're finding things in places we should be finding things. Live or dead, but yeah, we found a live one underneath the kind of building. So that was a little bit of a shocker, but we took care of it.
Pun intended, a little bit of a shocker.
So I know Tony always pointed out, Tony Sestito always pointed out a major electrical line that ran basically from east of the between the salon and the arts and crafts building and between the restroom and the snack bar area that he kept warning us, don't ever plan anything over that because there's quite a line. And you guys, what did you find with that? Is it
Well, that's-
significant?
Yeah, I have to look at Cala's electrical drawings for that. There's also a new line between that transformer on the west side of the clubhouse, going towards due west. You can tell it was cut in after the fact. You can see the trenches. You can see what looked to be at first when we were trying to cut down the power feed for the amphitheater. We thought there might be a bulb that was paved over. That's how scary it was.
So that line that I referred to, is that something of ours or is it a public utility line that happens across our park?
Oh, it's all yours.
It
It's
is.
all yours. Yeah. The main
It's Tony's.
people- Well, the main feeds that we have to look for are just the ones feeding the tram. Those are the ones that SMUD cares about. Everything else is yours.
Well, it looks great now. And I mean, they're old buildings and they were cobbled together at various stages. And so,
We were able to save that little piece of mural, which was, it surprised all of us that we could do it so clean.
Yeah.
It worked out really well.
so going back to the Strang Park, literally 45 minutes ago, one of my yoga students who lives across the street, she says, you can't believe the new park that just went in. It looks beautiful. And I said, well, they're going to have, a grand opening on November the 4th. And I hopefully we get the word out to Amy or Justin or somebody gets the word out because she says, I want to come.
Put a banner out.
Yeah, every neighbor that walks by just is.
Right.
You're doing accolades. They're so happy.
Right, exactly. Well, you guys are doing a great job. Appreciate it.
And according to Katie, Mary Jo, that's Jim's wife.
Right.
Is elated over it. And I've heard from her that Jim has been going down every week as a sidewalk superintendent is really excited. So it's a nice,
Good.
it's a nice thing for somebody that really has served the county so well.
Right, exactly, for sure.
You mentioned on String Park, land swap with the neighbors. Now, I know we gave them or whatever that back little cute corner, but did we get something else from them? Or did we just get rid of that useless?
We got rid of that big headache. Yes.
Yeah.
We got rid of it.
Yeah, it's
We
not
didn't
no
get any
swap,
new
we're
deals.
actually, they'll be paying part of their closing fees and we're paying the rest, and it's basically we just giving it to them for a minimal fee.
I see, but we didn't acquire any of their land. Okay, that's kind of
Get
confusing.
rid of the maintenance.
I think the biggest thing you gotta consider is you acquired the security for that north.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's the biggest, that would have been a problem.
well, it looks great.
Anything else for Dave? Thanks, Dave. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Anytime.
So item number 5 is opportunity for audience public comment on non-agenda items. Any person may address the board upon any subject within the jurisdiction of the Fair Oaks Recreation and Park District. Each speaker is limited to a maximum of 3 minutes. Any matter requiring board action will be referred to staff or committee for a report and action at a subsequent meeting. I know we have Garrett and we have Andy McDowell. And Garrett, do you want to speak on a non-agenda item? Is he muted?
Yes, but.
No, I'm okay. I'm just listening in. Thanks.
Oh, okay, okay. Andy? No?
Yeah, I have a quick question. So my grandfather years ago was part of a.
Can you get up there? So.
My grandfather, Ira McDowell, years ago, made this or helped out with a little oak tree. Fences around it, demolished. I was just curious.
that everything that had seemed to have significance that wasn't just aggregate cement or anything like that, we collected. We're planning on scheduling a time with Pete Gorman and his wife to give them what they would like. And anything else is up for grabs. Right now, it's safe at our district, our maintenance shop. And I'm sure we can get that back to you if you'd like it.
Okay, well, I was just curious if they're gonna maybe put it somewhere else, but no, it's just.
They're pulled out and we don't have a current place for them.
Okay, well, that'd be nice.
Where
He
exactly
lives
was
right across
that?
the street.
Yeah, I know the bricks. The bricks, there's actually 2 California bricks on the circle, the exterior.
Yeah,
circle.
this was a part of it years ago,
Yeah.
many years. ago.
Yeah. And we did get one. I'm not sure if the other one, maybe. I know one of them did for sure.
All right,
Because things were breaking as like odd places and times and odd different directions.
well, it's just nice for my boys to
Yeah.
to see it, and like, we have a lot of family here and just, well, you know, just curious about it. So, all right, thank you.
So Mike, have we removed the aggregate ring? Is the rest still in place? No.
It is.
Demolished?
It is.
Okay.
Like Sean said, we did save, the pieces are still, as many pieces we could, we saved, and he will go through the aggregate or the pieces.
Ian, is there anybody else that is out there that may want to speak to a non-agenda item? Okay. All right. Motion to approve the agenda. Motion made by Director Mounts,
Second.
Director Carhart. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Consent calendar. Anybody have questions, comments, concerns?
Not really.
Okay, hearing none, motion to approve the consent calendar.
So moved.
Second, Director Carhart moved, Director Mounts seconded, all in favor? Aye. Okay, we have the item 8.1 is the monthly report from the Fair Oaks Youth Advisory Board, FOAB. And I see that Rachel is with us.
Yes, hi everyone. It's Rachel, the chair of the Fair Oaks Youth Advisory Board. It's good to see everyone again. Hopefully next meeting I will be in person this time. But during our monthly meeting, we have already started preparing and discussing ideas for the holiday season, as well as sorting out the groups for the holiday park events, which is super exciting. But the details on that are going to be announced next meeting. And as we continually transition into in-person, we had a group of volunteers who went into the Orangeville Grain this month. And we are also expecting to go into the Orangeville Food Bank and the Orangeville Food Bank Farm. We also discussed the feedback from the Chicken Festival. There was a lot of positive responses. We enjoyed the new location. We also liked the newly added inflatables to the kids park that FOIAB helped run. I think that was a really good addition to the Chicken Festival and the kids park. There was a lot of fun prizes, games, entertainment vendors. It was just a really good energy overall, and it's a great event to be back to. However, members also did note the issue on parking, but that's already been brought up to the festival committees. And that's about it for what we talked about this meeting. Is there any question?
No, I don't have any. Ralph, do you have any?
What was the issue on parking?
Oh, it was like really cluttered and we didn't have enough parking and kind of just was a big traffic jam, but it got sorted out, so it was okay. Yeah.
Anybody else?
No.
Thanks, Rachel. Looking
Thank
forward
you.
to seeing
See you guys next week.
Item 8.2, discussion and possible action regarding adoption of resolution number 102021-01, resolution number 102-02101, proclaiming a local emergency, ratifying the proclamation of a state of emergency by Governor Gavin Newsom, and authorizing remote teleconference meetings of the legislative bodies of Fair Oaks Recreation Park District for the period of October 21, 2021.
30 days.
to
So
30. Okay,
This is, this was put into place by, because the current, the previous restrictions that had been on, or not restrictions, the previous, the Brown Act restrictions that had been lifted for.
Oh,
so that
right.
we could do the virtual
right.
meeting.
So this just extends it for a
This
month.
extends it, and we have to re-up it every 30 days, so that if there is a need to go back.
So every board meeting, we're going to do this?
I'm gonna put this on the consent calendar.
Okay,
following the
Okay,
meeting.
that's good.
Up until 2024,
It goes through 2024, as long as there's
state
a
declared.
statewide emergency.
So, I mean, is anticipated that subcommittee or committee meetings would be done by teleconference or in person?
Do that
Good.
under this resolution. yes.
Okay. Okay, all right.
So I don't recall that we had to pass a resolution when the emergency was first.
You didn't, because it was included in the executive order that Gavin Newsom.
When this first started, and this is just an extension, but
And now the governor's putting it back on the local jurisdictions to determine if they want to continue to read.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay, all right.
so for us, we're kind of hybrid, so
We're back to in person. for-
we're considered back in person.
Yeah,
With all the Brown Act requirements.
and we don't have any intention of going back to virtual unless there's a necessity.
Yeah, so we're normal, except we're not back in the village there. Yeah, okay.
This just keeps the option open, right?
Yep, keeps the option.
So we need a motion to approve resolution number 10-2021-01. I'm not going to read it again. Everybody understands what it is.
I'll make the motion that we approve adoption.
Motion to
resolution.
approve by Director Mounts,
I'll second.
seconded by Director Tamangi. It is all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Discussion and possible action regarding submission of a vote for special district commissioner for the Sacramento Local Agency Formation Commission. I don't know how many of you other folks have had calls, but I've had a number of them.
This is
Who would-
just a housekeeping item for LAFCO. You do this every 2 years. There's 2 candidates here. 4 years. Only 2. 3, sorry. 3 candidates, and you just need to vote on 1 candidate for each office.
So it's Ted Costa,
Fred Costa, Michael Hansen, Gay Jones for commissioner for office number 7, and then Michael Hansen again, and Charlia Moore, if I'm saying that right, for alternate commissioner. Being
So I don't know any of the people involved. I tend to, I'm aware that the fire district always carries the day. My own preference is to support a park district person, but I'm not fixed on that.
so there are 2 seats, and are Costa and Gay Jones both running for the same seat?
Yes.
So what was Michael's last name?
Hansen,
So where's he from?
he's from Arcade Creek Recreation Park District.
And that's for the other seat.
He's on both.
He's on
both.
Yeah, okay.
But if he doesn't make it on the, as the commissioner number 7, then he could still make it as commissioner, alternative
Correct.
commissioner. So to me, it's more important that we vote for Michael Hansen for the alternative commissioner, because it's probably a given that Gay Jones will get the other.
She's the incumbent.
So what
Make
does
a motion.
everybody else think? Okay, I'll
Um,
make a motion that we recommend.
Well, I thought all, based on resumes, I mean, everyone was qualified for the positions.
Yeah.
For me, it was more of, it wasn't clear to me why Hanson or Ted Costa, why they wanted to replace Gay, if there was something going on or there was a reason for it, they were just interested in the position. I don't know if anyone has heard anything about LAFCO, if there's a reason to put in to infuse it with new leadership, right? So, because like Ralph, I tend to think that too. Sometimes it's nice having an incumbent because they already have their hands in it. So they're working on projects and they know it and there isn't this learning curve. But if there is a need for new leadership at LAFCO, then we should consider voting for someone other than
Well,
TAH.
they have a new executive officer, and he was appointed about 3 months ago. Gay has been, the special district representative for probably a decade. Costa is on the board of the San Juan Water District. I don't know Michael Hansen at all, but I know the other two. They're both very qualified. Ted has been active in local politics all the way back to Jarvis Scan. He's part of the, that group.
He also filed for the recall for Gray Davis, which I'll always bless him for.
So I don't know. What's the pleasure of the board?
What's your pleasure? You savvy. Don, you think we
No,
should vote
no,
for Gay again?
no.
You certainly experienced.
I support Hanson as the alternate.
As the alternate.
If that's what we think is right.
I think that's,
Somebody else should go ahead and take the lead on who we want for the regular commissioner. It's too close to home for me.
yeah, any thoughts? Would you be comfortable if my motion goes for Gay for the main seat and Hanson for the other? Or would you like to go for newbies?
I'm comfortable with that.
Okay, my motion is that we vote for Gay Jones, the incumbent from Sac Metro Fire, for the Special District Commissioner, Office number 7, and that we vote for Michael Hansen from Arcade Creek Recreation and Park District for the alternate Special District Commissioner, Office number 6 and 7.
Second,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Usually I'm passionate about my motions, but
So items from, we're down to agenda item number 9, board and staff reports. Items from directors. I have nothing to offer up. Ralph?
Mike, is it too soon to say anything about other real estate acquisitions? Would you rather? Okay, very good. I don't have anything.
Aaron?
And nothing other than the fact that the 2 new parks, Gum Ranch and String Park, look phenomenal. They look really, really nice. So kudos to everybody.
Belinda?
I have 3 things, but I'll make them quick. The first one, I was wondering at the next finance meeting, if Darren and I being on the committee, if we could receive a revenue report. I realize like with our financials, we always have vendors and the expenses that are going out, but I'd also like to see the revenue that's coming in. And then maybe Darren and I can kind of decide if that's something that we want to have as a monthly item in the consent calendar maybe. And then the second item was, yeah, we didn't really address this, but if you could check at the district for the brick to see if it's Andy's related to his family, that would be great. If we can somehow move that back to them, I think that would be really nice. And I think, and the last thing, I just wanted to check about the La Vista, if you've heard anything back, or if that's something we will be updated on at the next meeting.
Yeah, and it is part of my update today.
Oh, okay, then we can just talk about it then. All right, that's it.
Okay. Mike, you want to start? You want Jennifer to start? You want Sean to start?
Sean?
I don't really have anything to add tonight. Sorry.
I don't either.
Okay.
So mine's pretty easy. So the update on the La Vista, I had a response from Frank, who's our staff person with the San Juan School District that is working with us on this project. He responded to me on Sunday, 10/17, and he said he was meeting with the school district attorney Friday, October 26th. to go over that. So that's the update right now. It's still in their hands, attorney wise, and I haven't heard anything.
This is the lease agreement?
Yes, yeah, we did the first draft
Mhm.
and our attorney did that. And
Right.
we pitched it over to San Juan. They now have it. And Frank's supposed to meet with their attorney this Friday.
So the attorneys have been looking at it for quite a while now. Do they expect this Friday they'll have it resolved or?
I did not get any kind of indication from them on that. If there had been issues, generally you would start hearing about them. But I have not heard anything. in terms of
Hope for
issues.
approval by Friday, huh?
But the
At
staff,
least from the attorneys. Now it'll have to still go to board
Right.
right, but the staff has recommended moving forward with this.
after they meet with the attorney on the 22nd. Well, after they meet with the 22nd.
Well, I mean, there's policy considerations and there are legal considerations. So with
These are all-
respect to the policy,
Yes.
Are we good to go?
Staff is still recommending at this point. Yes.
Okay.
So that's the update for that. And then, as you've heard, String Park ribbon cutting will be November 4th at 4 p.m. If you haven't got the invite, you will get the invite here real shortly. And then the Gum Ranch ribbon cutting will be November 16th at 3 p.m. because of daylight savings. So it's a little earlier. So that is my update.
3 p.m. was the previously announced time. It hasn't been shortened or anything.
No, same.
Yeah. So once we get approval on La Vista, what's the next step and what's the time frame? Do we start hiring an architect to design everything then, or? what-
We would have to get board approvals from both boards. And
Yeah.
then we would send the landscape architects out on the project, yes. For that, and that would include some community outreach, I'm gonna guess, because we are in a new neighborhood. So it's gonna be a little slower process. I would, after that community outreach is done, then we would try and do a preliminary budget so we can get moving on the other projects if we have additional funds, enough funds to do that. I'm thinking that this is all gonna tie up very tightly with the bids that go out with Village Plaza Park. And we'll probably have seen the estimated budget and the bids from Village Plaza Park at the same time, which will help us understand where we're at budgetarily.
So Mike, when you get to that point, obviously we'll have action items to deal with. But it would be kind of nice to know what, not necessarily the timeline, that's really hard to predict, but what the sequential process to get through it.
And I think from after the outreach, that'll give us a good indicator of what will be happening with this project as a whole. But it's going to be girls softball fields. It's just a matter of parking and other amenities, things like that.
So one other question, we had that meeting with Rich Desmond. I know you followed up with him, and did you get any positive feedback from anybody?
From Rich's chief of staff, Vanessa, we had some conversations in regards to some of the projects along. In regards to some land issues, I did not get anything.
You didn't get anything back from the agency administrator or from
They did call
DOT?
me with some concerns about the usage of that property and what it could or could not be used for, and it was a staff-to-staff conversation. So it was not it was their staff talking to me.
Mhm.
It hasn't gone to any kind of policy board higher up or anything like that.
About what project? About La Vista?
That would be about the Sailor.
Oh, Salem, oh, yeah.
Sailor Bar issue.
Yeah, when I talked,
There's concerns, obviously, John, you're familiar with the record. Or Sarah, you're familiar with the concerns about.
Mhm. All right.
yeah, when I
Well-
was talking with Supervisor Desmond last week, I got definitely negative vibes on that. That there were some,
Well, but
Somebody-
it was worth a shot, and I
Yes.
don't know that, if the county, if Lisbella says, no, absolutely no, there's no way we can do this, we can't even lease it to you, because it's going to screw up the parkway. Well, it's screwed up now. Anyway,
And that's kind of where we're at right now.
okay.
Yes, that's a
But
good-
Rich also offered to meet with us on a you know, not a fairly regular basis, but on an as-needed basis. And so if we have issues that we would like to talk with him about, what we ought to do is set it up so that we have 2 board members and we kind of rotate around who those 2 are. So everybody gets a little bit of time with Desmond. And I mean, that's a contact that we need to continue to nurture for sure.
And I think we'll see him at the ribbon cutting and stuff, so the veterans here a little bit more about that process.
Good.
I think that-
That's good.
He hasn't RSVP yet because we haven't set that out, but I suspect he'll be there.
Yeah.
The issues mostly related to like the Friends of the Parkway.
Primarily, there's restrictions on the usage of that,
Yeah.
the parkway land. And that according to staff will be a battle that will be incredibly hard to get past.
The irony is that when you go down to William B. Pond Park, that's in the parkway. That is a fully developed park. It has been there for a long time.
What is it, the River Bend Park?
River Bend Park. I mean, there's,
There's.
But it was a
Ansel
park
Hoffman.
before it
Yes.
was, it was a park before it was adopted.
It was a park years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, it's ironic that it's like, we're trying to make another park.
right,
Well, when we,
beautify a piece of property.
Exactly.
when the community raised the funds to buy the Farrell lot, and, you know, our board financed that, did the swing loan to
Right.
finance that. And then after it was given to the Parkway, we were informed it's zoned O, which means open space, and paths, benches, and everything else are forbidden. So it should have been done before if we
Yeah.
had wanted
Yeah,
to.
that's too bad. I mean, in retrospect, yeah, things could have been differently.
You learned.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
We're as staff, we're stuck in a hard place on this.
Yeah, I know. Okay, anything else? Andy? No? All right, motion to adjourn to the next regular meeting of November 17, 2021 at 6 p.m. right before Thanksgiving,
What's the date?
November 17th.
I'll be in Mexico.
Good for you. Where are you going to be? Cabo?
South of Cabo. Surf Hotel.
Hmm.
The 17 of us going down.
Good,
Surf.
good.
We're going to Nuevo Vallarta in December.
Oh, nice.
Get away to Mexico. Motion to adjourn to the meeting of November 17th.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
See you, Andy.
Okay.
So he's dad.
Yes.